Today's our first topic is input devices. As most of you know that input devices are used to convert your input data and convert into a machine readable form. Okay. The another name which we give to the input devices are peripheral devices. Basically, peripheral devices are input devices as well as output devices. Okay. They are not coming with a system unit. Basically they are separate from the system unit, so we attach them with the computer. Some common input devices are keyboard, mouse, joystick, microphone and image scanner. Let's discuss the first one, keyboard. So keyboard is a primary input device. Primary means without that inputting data is very difficult. Okay, so while you turn on your computer and keyboard is not attached, so how you will log in without a password? So you're going to use on-screen keyboard. Some students say that. So or sometimes we are going to use a voice input system, okay, to input our data in a form of text. The task is to convert your pressed button into electronic signal, or we can say that, and it will be converted into a digital form. On a keyboard we have some character combinations. Okay, so blocks are there. One is a character keys are there, and numeric keypad is there, function keys are there. Okay, and some special keys. Okay, function keys are F1 to F12, F1, F2, F3 up to F12. These are the function key. Character key, alphabetic alphabets are there, A, B, C, D, capital, small. Function, some special character or special characters keys are there. It's like sign, question mark, greater than, less than. Special keys are there, which are control, shift, alt. Okay, so these are special keys which are available on your keyboard. Pointing device. Pointing device are used to control the movement of a pointer cursor to the selected item on a screen or open computer program or file. So we get to know that the pointer are used for two purposes. One is moving your control, okay, or a pointer on a screen, and second one is open a document or file inside your computer. Common use pointers or pointing devices are mouse, trackball, joystick, touch screen, light pen, and touchpad. These are most common used to pointing devices. Pointing device. In a pointing device, the first one, which is mostly or normally used, that is a mouse. So let's discuss about a pointing device, mouse. As we move the mouse over the surface disk, the movement of the ball are detected by the internal mechanism. Okay, so we got two types of mouse. One is a mechanical mouse, another one is a laser mouse. In a mechanical mouse, we got ball inside it. Okay, while you move your mouse, so the ball move left, right, up, down, or in a diagonal, and that movement is detected by wheels inside it, and that is transferred to the cursor movement inside your screen. On a mouse we got some buttons, okay, or at the front of the mouse or the casing we got 2 or 3 buttons, okay. We got these button for performing different tasks. One is a right click, okay, and another one is used for left click. Mostly left click is used for selection or picking up on any option on a screen, while we talk about a right click is showing or displaying the option, or we can say that menu of the icon or menu of the program will be displayed by a right click. Nowadays we are using a very popular mouse, that is a optical mouse, okay. It's too much popular nowadays. All the mechanical mouse are replaced by a optical mouse, and these optical mouse inside it utilize a light emitted diode. These light emitted diode is inside it, and photodiode is there to detect the movement, okay, relative to the underlying surface rather than the internal movement parts. Means inside it movement parts are not there, any movement part is not there. It's like in mechanical mouse we got moving parts are there inside it, ball moves along with that, wheels are there, wheel moves. But in a laser mouse, or we can say that optical mouse, okay, we don't have any ball, rollers are not there, okay. So there is no internal movement part is inside a optical mouse. The another one pointing device is a trackball. Okay, one thing which is left inside a mouse, in a center of a mouse we got one wheel which is there, okay, and that wheel is used for page up, page down, or scrolling. It is used basically for scrolling, okay. So kindly remember that while you scroll inside your document, mostly we use that wheel inside it, or for zoom in and zoom out. While you hold down a control button and you scroll that one, so automatically you can zoom in and zoom out. And while inside Microsoft Word, you directly scroll this one, scroll wheel or scroll the wheel, so your page will be scroll up and down. Okay, we were discussing another one was a trackball. So trackball, uh, while you put your mouse upside down, which one mouse I'm talking about, a mechanical mouse, so it will become a trackball for you. It will become a trackball for you. So the ball at the top is rolled with a finger. So how you will move the ball, you will move your ball with a finger, and also the buttons are there to perform the operation, similar operation which are performed by a mouse. Another one pointing device is a joystick. I think so most of you know about this device, because for gaming purpose we use this device, okay. So joystick is commonly used for playing computer games. Yes, mostly we are talking about mostly it is utilized for playing computer games. uh, how we put on table, it is basically fixed on a table. Inside it we got a stick, okay, at the center. And if you move to the left or to the right or up and down or left right, up and down or 4 directional, you can move over there and your cursor will move, or your uh, pointer will move to the left, right, up, down, which side you want to move. So the movement transfer the object on the screen. There are some buttons which are used to perform. uh, these buttons are used for firing or for jump or for different things. It depends upon game to game that for which purpose these buttons are utilized. The next one, pointing device is a touch screen. Okay, sir, maybe you are thinking that's a touch screen or display device or pointing device. So touch screen is basically input device as well as it is output device. So we utilize it for displaying the thing as well as we can input the things or input our touch pointing through that. The screen is sensitive to the pressure, means how much you press over there. If sensitivity is high, so the pressure will be more. User interact with the computer by touching picture or words on a screen as shown in a figure. Instead of using pointing device, user can use a finger to point directly to the object on a screen. Right now, most of you know about this touch screen because all of you are using a smartphone. Okay, in a smartphone, the screen which we got, that is a touch screen. Okay, the laptops which are coming, okay, on a laptops we also got touch screen laptop. Okay, so touch screens are generally attached to the computer, but they are also popular in other devices, just like I've told you, in a mobile phones, satellite navigations, uh, PDAs, personal digital assistants. Okay, so they are right now available in most of the device. In a smartwatch, touch screen is there. Another pointing device is a light pen. Let's discuss light pen. Okay, it is just like a pen which have a photo cell. Okay, at the tip of that, as shown in a figure, you can see here. I'm talking about this one. Okay, it is used to point to an object or draw something on a screen. It gives more accuracy than pointing when our finger on a touch screen. While you see that while you are painting uh, on your smartphone or your touch screen, so problem is that you cannot point accurately to that point which you want. So for that we use in I'm talking about a Note 5, Note 6, Note 7 or Note 10. In a Note series we got one S Pen. So same like light pen is there. Okay, we through that you can draw something on a screen, you can select something through that. Okay, mostly for sketches, for drawing we use these light pens. For the main purpose is it give more accuracy than a pointing with our finger on a touch screen. It is mainly used for engineering and designing purpose, which I've told you. The main purpose is that where we use that. Okay, we use in engineering or designing the things. Another one device, input device, which we are going to discuss, that is a touchpad. Okay, with a normal desktop computer we don't have a touchpad. Okay, the touchpad is coming with a laptop computer. Okay, as shown in the figure, it is basically a pointing device that is used to sense the movement or position of your finger. It is same as you utilize your mouse. uh, you move your mouse, so your basically your finger move on this touchpad, so the cursor move on your screen. And we got two buttons also there for left click and right click. Okay, maybe you think that, sir, in a mouse we got a scroll ball also, scroll ball also, a scroll wheel also. So from where we can utilize that? If you see something, a small dotted is mentioned at the left side, at the right side, and maybe at the bottom it is mentioned, that area is used for scrolling purpose. I'm talking about this area. Okay, let me point it again. here, this area, and this area is used for scrolling purpose. So there are two buttons which are located above or below the pad, and then the function of the same as a button of the mouse. So that was about the touch pad. Another one, input device is a microphone. Okay, microphone is used to convert the spoken word to digital signals for computer input. It converts audio signal to the electronic wave, and these are converted by electronic circuitry in the computer to digital form. The main purpose of microphone is what? To input your voice or spoken words into a digital signal, which will be taken as an input. Microphone convert analog signal to the digital signal. The sound which we produce, that is in an analog form. Right now that analog sound will be converted to the digital form, and then it will be stored or manipulated inside your computer when it is required. The diagram is shown also a microphone over here. Digital camera. Digital camera is also an input device that capture the picture and store that in a form of digital form. Okay, the picture which while we have taken, it can be viewed or it can be edited also. So good thing inside it that what the picture we have taken through digital camera, it can be viewed through the camera, or it can be viewed inside your computer, or it can be edited through computer. Nowadays digital camera are having LCDs, okay, for viewing both images and viewfinder, in a viewfinder, and we can also view our memory card data through that LCD, that which pictures we have taken, it is inside that memory card which is there. Okay, so we can view those images through that LCD. We can also delete, we can also crop the image through that. So digital camera is all. So the screen which is there, LCD screen, okay, so that is the output device, but while it takes the data, so while we capture something, so it is working as a input. So it is an input as well as output device. A digital camera is shown in a figure. The next one input device is a scanner. Okay, scanner is a optical input device. So I'm using the optical word here. Okay, optical input device that optically scan the printed or handwritten text and images, and then store inside computer memory in a digital form. So what it will do, it will optically taken your handwritten text and images, and what we have taken, it will be stored inside a computer memory. Nowadays, scanners are widely used to get drawings, mostly while a sketch is there or something like this, or diagrams are there, or photographs are there. If you want to store inside your computer, okay, so we are going to use a scanner for that. Or if you want to incorporate those images, photograph, uh, or diagrams inside our document, so first of all we have to scan them, and then we can embed, or then we can incorporate, okay, those images inside a digitally document or digital document. So, and books which are made up electronically for or to print. We got some types of a scanner. There are different types of scanner: handheld scanner, flat belt scanner, barcode scanner. So these are different types of a scanner. So let's discuss these types of scanner in the next slide. Handheld scanner. To scan an image, okay, the handheld scanner is dragged over the image to be scanned. So what we are going to do, we are going to move our handheld scanner over the text or over to the image, so that area is going to be scanned. The handheld scanner should be moved carefully with uniform speed, because uneven scanning rate will be produced or distort the image. But when we are scanning image through handheld scanner, and we are moving our mouse, or we are moving our scanner, handheld scanner fastly, or maybe with the rate which is not a even rate, okay, so what will happen, the image will be not scanned clearly. So handheld scanners are very useful for scanning articles or from a magazine, from a newspaper, or from book. Handheld scanner is shown in a figure which is available over here. The another one is a flat belt or flat bed scanner. Okay, this is the scanner which is a typical scanner which we use normally in offices, okay, or in a home. Uh, the image or the picture will be put inside it or placed inside it, and how it will be placed, okay, the face will be down, okay, the face down on a glass, and at the top covering should be there. If the cover is not there, okay, if the cover is not there, what will happen, so at left side or right side or at the bottom or top, what will coming, extra black area, white area will come over there. So so the cameras move across the glass pan and reading the entire area. The felt blood scanner is shown in a figure which is available over here. The third one type of scanner is a barcode reader. Okay, it is also a scanner, but what barcode is? Right now, first of all, you have to understand what is a barcode and what is a barcode reader. Barcode, these are basically vertical lines. Barcode are vertical lines in which some information is stored. Okay, so if you see here in the image, yeah, this is the barcode. This is the barcode. Right now, while you want to scan that, you need a barcode scanner for that. Okay, so this barcode is available on various products, just like if you go to the Imtiaz supermarket or big stores, or if you want to buy a book, okay, on a book you can see a barcodes are there. Okay, so to scan fastly or to enter the data inside your computer fastly, we use a barcode reader for that. So barcode reader are also type of scanner which are used to scan a barcode, also called a UPC, universal product code. Yeah, product code is mentioned over there, available on various products which I've told you, on books, on products. This code is available, which is a barcode. Okay, and these barcode contain information about the product, like name of the product, company, manufacturing date, expiry date, etc. This is not correct, which is written inside your book. Barcode normal, uh, there are two types of barcode is there. One is a line barcode, another one is a QR code. Right now in a bars code, we don't have a barcode 39. The code is barcode 39. It have only a number. Okay, in product number is there. There is no information about company. There's no information about the company inside it. No manufacturing date, expiry date. These are not there. They are stored in a database somewhere. Okay, if you have a database, so these barcode is used to, or barcode read that number, and inside the database that code will come, and then the search will happen, and then it will find out the detail about that product, that what is the expiry of that, who is the manufacturer of that, which company it belongs to. So kindly keep in mind this thing. This information is provided to the computer further processing like generating bills at checkout in a shopping malls. Yes, these barcodes are mostly utilized, or barcode reader are mostly utilized at shopping malls. Okay, where you're going to take your bill. So for fast entry, why we use barcode reader? Basically, for fast data entry, we use a barcode. We can also enter that data manually also. So if you have gone through the big mall, sometime the barcode or the barcode reader does not read the barcode. So what they are going to do, they are going to manually enter the code over there, and then the product will be entered inside your bill, which is going to be generated, and then it will be given to you. So prices are normally not included. Yes, right now. Remember that prices are not normally included in a barcode because prices are not constant and may change frequently. A barcode reader is displayed over here. You can see in a picture that is a barcode reader, and that these lines are a barcode. Magnetic strip card. Okay. Magnetic strip card has a magnetic strip which is used to store data in a form of tiny magnetized and non-magnetized particle of a magnetic material. I think so. Most of you have seen the card like this, just like bank cards. Okay, uh, where we utilize that for ATM machines. Okay, or for shopping from a bank, shopping from mall, or if you go to the bank in an ATM machine, if you want money, so we utilize these cards. So there are some types of card which are Mastercard, Visa card, ATM card, credit card, or debit card. Okay, we also utilize these magnetic strip cards for driving license and membership cards. So these cards are shown in a figure. Okay, if you see on these card, what information is stored? A magnetic strip is there. This strip, this strip stored your information inside it in a magnetized form. These cards are swapped, okay, through a magnetic card reader. You see, mostly while you go to the Imtiaz shopping mall or big store and you want to pay your money online, okay, so through card. So what they are going to take a card from you and they swap through that machine, okay, and that machine is a card reader or card head machine, and then you are going to enter just a code over there, and the transaction will be done from your card. On a card we got some specific area, just like I've explained, magnetic strip is there, hologram where a chip maybe can be a chip over there, bank contact information is available, means a website or a phone number is available over there, signature area where the person signature, while you take a card it is written over there, you have to sign it here. Okay, security code, the last 3-digit code is available over there. This you will not share with somebody. Okay, the all the number can be shared, but this one number should not be shared with anyone. And uh, last one, logo, company logo or card logo will be available over there. Thank you for listening me. Inshallah, see you in next class. Hope you maybe understand the things much more clearly. Have a good time. See you in next class.